Hey you beautiful people, how's it going, and welcome to a new video. So this one's just a quick build update where I'm currently at with the build gear wise, what my skill tree is looking like, and where I plan on taking the build next. So I'm currently on tier 16 maps, I'm having a good time. As you can see, I've killed Cirrus, I found 2 raw exalts, and I managed to fuck up with Tusion and lose an exalt to him, so that was great. Haggled my way into oblivion. So yeah, having a pretty good time though, all in all. Finding this league quite enjoyable, though I feel like the league mechanic in the maps itself could be a tiny bit more rewarding. Yeah. So I'll get into the video now, talking about it, and I will see you in a moment, guys. Okay, guys, so this is my current progression on day 3. So I am level 91, I'm currently on tier 16 maps, having a good time. I'm actually doing quite a lot of heist this league, despite the fact it's not on the map device still. Heist is just so fun. Unpopular opinion, am I right? So let's go into my current gear, starting with my chest. So I'm using a lionized vision. Now I thought maybe we could drop this in 3.15 because they made the little projectiles from SST chain. Unfortunately, I think that the damage, it still feels a little bit clunky for mapping, so I ended up going with a lionized vision in the end for the PS support. So this is a pseudo 6-link at the moment. It does also give us life and physical attack damage leech as mana, which is quite nice to have. So I'll talk about my gem setup because there is a slight change. So it's SST, Swift Affliction, Vicious Proj, and Brutality, and then I'm using Divergent Deadly Ailment support. So I tried to run with the normal Deadly Ailments, but it feels a little bit hard to leech. It's still fine if you're using a Mana Flask, but in all honesty, I'd probably switch it to Maim, which is what I did. So I was using Maim on this until I ended up doing a grand heist very early on, and I got a Divergent Deadly Ailments, which gives you support skills deal 40% more damage with hits, which ultimately leads it to do 40% less damage with hits. And this is actually good enough to sustain the mana, and it gives more DPS than Maim overall. Now if you pull them into Path of Building, it will say that Maim is slightly more DPS, but that's taken into account the fact that you would always be hitting if you had Maim on. Whereas with Deadly Ailments, you can hit and then you can, dodge mechanics, not hit, but you are still dealing DPS because you are bleeding. So overall, Divergent Deadly Ailments is better DPS than Maim, despite Path of Building being slightly higher with the Maim in there. So I would highly recommend getting one of these if you don't have one already. They are quite cheap, I believe. Let's have a look at the current price. So 29, 30, 35, so yeah, I would definitely pick one of these up because you will feel a difference with your bleeding with that. And then once it's on a 6-link, again, I'm going to put Unbound on there for the more damage with bleeding, even though Maim would, again, say more damage in Path of Building. So, yeah, that's, I don't want to destroy that, I'm sorry, whoopsie. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with my 6-link right now. I'm quite happy with that. One thing I will say is this is a pseudo 6-link at the moment, and the mana multiplier still applies to the PS. So my SST is costing 52 mana, which is why I'm currently unreserving my Flesh and Stone. Now, I could run with Flesh and Stone and I would still have enough mana to cast it, and that's fine for mapping. It gets a little bit awkward on bosses sometimes, so just for quality of life sake, I do run with War Banner instead of Flesh and Stone just for now, until I get an Enlighten 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. And Chris Wilson is also changing the mana multipliers anyway, he's buffing them, so this should cost a little bit less in the future. So thank God for that, am I right? Because these mana changes suck, let's be honest. Now, moving on, my next thing that I have is my shield. I picked up an level 86 Colossal Tower shield. And yeah, I just rolled it with Dense Fossils until I got a decent roll, which is tier 1 armor, tier 1 hybrid armor, and tier 2 flat armor. And I had 29% quality on this. So yeah, 2,291 armor at the moment. The best craft you can always get is the Dexel into quality as well. Now mine's only low level because, to be honest, I haven't done much Betrayal yet. So I only have low level craft, so this will be a lot better once I get a high level craft. But to be honest, this is good enough to clear all the content as it is, so I'm happy with this shield. Now, as for my rings, so this is garbage. I actually have quite a lot of garbage gear still. I haven't focused too hard on upgrading it because it can do all content, so I thought maybe I should start saving up for my next build already. So yeah, got this absolute trash tier ring here, which is pretty awful when you look at it. I've got these boots here, which I got from a Betrayal encounter, so this is Onslaught on Kill, which is why I've got them, speeding up my mapping a little bit life and res, and 28 move speed is nice. Moving on, I have a Stygian Vise with tier 1 life and crafted Fire and Chaos res. So, yeah, I don't really need the resistances because my resistances are balling right now. As you can see, we're absolutely fine. And I say balling, and it is 76 lightning, but it's fine, you know, it's capped as long as we're not on an early weakness map. So, yeah, I'm good with that. Now, inside the Stygian, I'm rolling with a gem with adds 5 to 7 fizz damage to attacks, 26 max life, plus 2% chance to block attack damage if you were damaged by a hit recently. So that adds a bit of DPS with the fizz and the life, which is nice. Got some Apothecary gloves, nice and early. These dropped on the floor for me, as they were. So I was quite happy with these. Max life, cold, lightning, and int on there. And then also an open prefix for some added fizz. So yeah, I was really pleased that I got these as they drop. I think in a tier 9 map. I level 76, so yeah, that's pretty good. And then moving on, I've got my jeweled foil over here. So this is just a fizz damage over time jeweled foil. Pretty much all you need, to be honest. Crafted on fizz damage over time multi. This weapon will get you through the end game nice and easy. Got this for 10C as well. These weapons are very cheap. Jeweled foil is a bit more difficult to use because it has dex, 212 dex. So I have 235 dex at the moment, but I have taken the dex node over here, which is fine for me because, you know, I'm so high up on my tree anyway at this point, being level 91. I'm happy to go with that. Moving on, I have a vulnerability ring over here with just crafted added fizz. The rest of the stats don't matter too much. The int is nice to have. So yeah, I got this for free, see, very early on. This was like a day 1.5 ring that I got. And because I got this, I was able to drop the Impresence completely. So I've just completely skipped Impresence at the moment. And Vulnerability is, you know, it's just such a huge damage base. This effectively doubles my DPS, so I had to get this as quickly as possible. And you can pick one of these up. I level 75 plus, and they are about 2 or 3C. And then just roll them in a harvest with the Reforge with a caster modifier. And as you can see there, Vulnerability has the caster tag, so we'll get it quite easily. And yeah, it's very nice to have one of these. You'll definitely feel a change in damage. Moving on to the Amulet, now that I can skip the Impresence, gone straight for a Hunter's Amulet. And again, this was one I had on like day 1.5, 2, something like that. So it's just a Hunter one. I level 80. I can improve this, and I will improve this. And then I just slapped on a bunch of jagged fossils until I got something I was happy with. So fizz damage over time tier 2, added fizz tier 3, and then fizz leached as mana and life as well. I thought it was quite nice to have, and a bit cold res. So I thought I would stick with this for now, and I will upgrade this a bit later on. Allocated Razor's Edge because it's the cheap one on the left over here, which gives 10 damage over time and multiplier for bleeding, and gives you a chance to cause bleeding as well. So yeah, I'm rolling with that for now, but I will upgrade this to a tier 1 one a lot later on when I'm comfortable. Finally, for my gear, rolling with a Elder Helmet. Got this very early as well. You can just buy any base for now. Obviously, Eternal or Royal Bergonet is the best base because of the high armor. But yeah, they are quite expensive, over 100 chaos. So I'm rolling with this one, which again, I just threw Jagged Fossils until I got something I was happy with. And tier 1 life and the increased fizz is absolutely fine for me. Tiniest bit of int in there and lightning and chaos. So yeah, overall, I'm quite happy with my gear, to be honest. This gear is good enough to do pretty much everything. I could do Maven with this gear, I'm pretty sure. Oh, sorry, guys. Kind of got hiccups coming. But, yeah, I could do Maven with this gear. I'm pretty sure that I could. It's about, I think it's something like 600k boss DPS and like 900 to 1 million mapping DPS at the moment. So it's very nice. Now, I'll talk about my flasks. So I'm using a Quartz Flask as well for phasing, as well as a little bit of chance to dodge. With immunity to burning, because we do need that element immunity. And I will say, these flasks at the moment suck, bro. Have you seen these flasks? Like, you go into a map and somebody burns you. Oh, man, I fought the Enslaver with this, and I removed the burning, instantly back on me, dude. Instantly back on me. What can I do, man? It's just so annoying. But luckily, Chris Wilson has said they're changing it back to 4 seconds. You will have to use it whilst ignited, though, to get the 4-second effect. So thank God for that, because this is awful. Next flask, just one that I'm going to drop soon. Instant recovery when on low life. Just want a slightly better version of it. You know, like an Eternal Life Flask or Divine or whatever. Moving on to the next one, Quicksilver Flask with an Instilling Orb on it, used when you take a Savage hit. Again, the 1 second freeze is a nightmare, as you guys probably know. So I'm not using Instilling Orbs either, because I used them on this flask and they really tilted me. Because I used them, I had one, I used it, I thought, yeah, let's see what we get. And I got used when you block. So, yeah, I was walking into maps, instantly blocking everything, out of Quicksilver, no freeze immunity, and it tilted me quite hard. So, Instilling Orbs, I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest, and I probably won't use them. Not yet, anyway. So, next flask removes curses, which is just the life flask. Again, you know, shell of its former self. I can no longer do the maps with curses, so I'll just have it on a life flask. And then finally, Enduring Eternal Mana Flask with immune to bleeding and corrupted blood. So I would highly recommend getting an Enduring Eternal Mana Flask because they're just so damn good in this league as well. I never run out of mana, to be honest, despite the mana changes, in with the 52 multi. So yeah, Enduring Mana Flask is the king right now, and I am loving it. So I'll get into my skill tree now, and there are quite a few changes, mostly because I also have an Unnatural Instinct, which I'll talk about in a bit. So as for the changes, yeah, from the tree, I've decided to opt for more damage, so I've been playing around with this quite a bit. So I've got these nodes up here, which are in the original path of building anyway, just not in the video, as I changed them around a little bit after the video, just playing around with stuff. So, yeah, the skill tree looking pretty much the same, aside from the fact that I've dropped Command of Steel, because I did slightly overlook the patch notes. I didn't realise that it gives increased, it no longer gives increased damage per 1%, it's now attack damage, which is absolutely useless. So we are losing the 6% block over here. But the rest of the tree, for the most part, is just, you know, standard stuff. I have played with it since leveling up to 90 as well, dropping a lot of life for damage, so clearing smoother and boss damage is smoother. So this tireless wheel here is pretty good for giving reduced cost of skills, which is no longer a meme. Vanquisher gives a bit more DPS as well. Veteran Sword is still fine. And then I ended up picking up an Unnatural Instinct very early because these things are quite cheap at the start, but they do tend to rocket in price. So if you were to hold an item to make money, this would be one of them. So I got mine for just under 3x, and now they're already 4 to 5x. So yeah, these will go up, so I definitely bought one. And, you know, it gives the 6% chance to block, all the rares, a bit of fizz damage, dex, strength, move speed. So I thought I'd really wanted one of these early, so I just grabbed it with my currency. But yeah, aside from that, the tree pretty much just is what it is, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to talk about at the moment, guys. How are you finding the league? The league itself, this is my favourite guy over here, obviously, the Haggler. I'm not too much of a fan of the Gambler one. This one, I know people are hyping her up, but I think she's well, overrated, to be honest. I've had no luck with her, but you know, maybe one day I'll get a headhunter with her, so I'll be happy. And I think Rog is also very, very good, especially for endgame crafting. Once you start getting that eye level 83 gear like I have, he can be super, super cool. So yeah. Aside from that, guys, let me know what you think of the league. Let me know how your character's getting on. And feel free to drop by the Discord if you want to chat, talk to me, ask me anything. And we're all good. So I will catch you guys next time. Take care and have a good league. Peace.